In every soul there lives a warrior. A fighter no one can fully understand. A heart that battles storms no one else ever sees. Some warriors carry swords, some warriors carry shields. But the greatest warriors of all carry invisible weights. This is the story of one such warrior. A story not just meant to be watched, but felt. A story to awaken something powerful inside you. Kale was known throughout the land as the strongest among them all. People admired him. People relied on him. People believed he was unbreakable. But every morning, before the world opened its eyes, Kale woke with a heaviness on his chest, a weight he could not explain. There were no chains, no boulders, no ropes, no physical burden. Yet he felt as if he carried mountains on his shoulders. Doubt, fear, guilt, pressure, loneliness, the silent expectation to be strong. These were his invisible weights, and like so many of us, he carried them quietly. When the people saw him, they saw a hero. They saw confidence, they saw stability, they saw certainty. But they didn't see the truth. They didn't see the nights he lay awake staring at the ceiling, fighting battles in his mind. They didn't see the mornings he struggled to find meaning. They didn't see the fear that whispered, "You're not enough. You're failing. You're slipping. You're alone." Kale wore his smile like armor. He hid behind it because the world taught him that strength meant silence. But silence is a heavy shield, and Kale's arms were getting tired. To outrun the heaviness inside, Kale trained harder than ever before. He ran faster, lifted more, fought longer, pushed deeper. The village loved him for it. They saw endless strength, they saw discipline, but they never saw the truth. He wasn't training for greatness. He was training to escape himself. Because sometimes the loudest place in the world is the inside of your own mind. One night, the pressure became too much. Kale left the village, climbed to the highest cliff, and looked down at the valley below. The rain fell hard, but not as hard as the thoughts crashing inside him. He whispered into the storm, "Why do I feel so alone, even when I'm surrounded by people? Why do I feel so heavy when nothing is even there? Why can't I just be strong, like they think I am?" For the first time in his life, Kale felt himself breaking. The unbreakable warrior was falling apart. Just as Kale was about to collapse, a warm voice echoed through the storm. "You are not weak for feeling this way." Kale turned and saw Solon, a wise elder who lived hidden among the mountains. Solon stepped forward and said, "The greatest warriors are not the ones who never fall. They're the ones who rise again and again, even when their hearts are tired." Kale felt tears burning in his eyes. "I've been trying so hard," he said. "But no matter how far I run, the heaviness always finds me." Solon nodded slowly. "Because you cannot escape a weight that you refuse to acknowledge." Solon placed a hand on Kale's chest. "Show me your weights," he said. Kale looked confused. "There's nothing to show," Solon smiled gently. "Every unseen burden has a name. Say it, and it loses its power." Kale hesitated, then whispered, "Fear, self-doubt, loneliness, exhaustion, pressure to be perfect, pain I never talk about." Solon nodded. "These are not signs of weakness. They are signs that you have been strong for too long." With every weight Kale named, his shoulders loosened. His breathing deepened. His heart felt lighter. Solon led Kale into a quiet cave where flames flickered gently. He said, "You were not meant to carry these alone. Strength is not suffering in silence. Strength is letting others help." Kale clenched his fists. "But I'm the strong one. People depend on me." Solon shook his head. "Even the strongest warrior cannot pour from an empty heart. Your greatness awakens when you learn to rest." Kale felt something shift inside him. For the first time, he allowed himself to breathe honestly. As the sun rose, Kale opened his eyes to a new understanding. He didn't need to be perfect. He didn't need to be unbreakable. He didn't need to hide. He needed to be human. He needed to be real. He needed to be honest. The invisible weights he carried were not a curse. They were proof of his courage. Proof that he kept going even when he had every reason to give up. Proof that his story mattered even when no one else saw it. Kale returned to the village not as the warrior they expected, but as the warrior he truly was, one who led with truth. one who encouraged others to speak, one who made it safe for people to admit when they were hurting. He began sharing his story, and as he did, the entire village began to open up. People found courage, people found hope, people found healing, all because one warrior chose to stop hiding his wounds. If you're hearing this and you've been carrying invisible weights of your own, hear this truth: you are not weak, you are not broken, you are not failing. You are a warrior. A warrior who has walked through storms no one else knows about. A warrior who kept going even when your heart was tired. A warrior who survived every single battle life threw at him. And you didn't survive by accident. You survived because there is greatness inside you waiting to awaken. Greatness found not in perfection, but in perseverance. Not in hiding, but in healing. Not in pretending, but in being real. Now remember this: the strongest people aren't the ones who never fall, but the ones who rise again with fuller hearts and deeper wisdom. You are not defined by your invisible weights. You are defined by the courage it takes to carry them, and today, I hope you choose to rise, to breathe, to heal, to grow, to awaken your greatness. If this story touched your heart, like, comment, and share, so more warriors can rise from their battles. And don't forget to subscribe for more powerful stories that awaken the greatness within you. Stay tuned. Another life-changing video is coming soon. Thank you for watching.